Oh, no.
Hey, we got audio now.
Look at
Hello,
that.
hello from the groundbreakers. We don't know what the fuck we are like normal.
We're all together, except that we're not together at all.
Yeah, who would have thought?
This is
So
normal.
yeah, this is it's a normal thing, right? It's
Yeah,
fine.
I think it's part of the charm at this point.
It really
What are
is.
they doing? They don't know.
They don't fucking know. They don't know. Every time they're on here, they're like, "What are we doing?" We don't know. Well, today we're coming at you because me and Justin, if you have not been, if you've been noticing, we have two major streams going on. We have our normal Groundbreaker stream, and we also have Jan's stream. And coming from
Woo!
Jan's stream, we have Jan's himself. Jan's, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
Just chilling out, doing this thing, wanting to fight with you guys tonight.
Yeah. Also, watch Jen stream.
As
Uh,
you, I'm compelled to watch Jan's stream now.
You should. I heard it's good.
Oh yeah, what's so good about it?
I'm on it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what's good about the Groundbreakers mainstream is this new soft lighting I got for the room. It makes my head look incredibly shiny. I need to powder my head down from now on. Veronica's gonna come in here and do my makeup before each stream. That's
I'm just
that's
gonna
what
put a cat on my head.
that's what I hear. There was a cat in your background there for a while.
There's a cat right there.
I guess there is a cat right there. You're right.
This area right here is cat.
His cat. Cat
He's asleep.
Sleepy kitten. Oh man. So I drove too long today. I'm really tired, which makes me very delirious, which might be good for the stream. So who knows?
Seems
yeah, it could get interesting.
It could be. So, also joining us today, you probably just heard those beautiful uh, vocal cords of Mr. Kirkland, Andrew Kirkland to be
Yeah,
exact. How you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing okay. Uh, Next time we stream, I will be on camera, but I am mid move right now, and my house is not where I want it to be. But so
Oh,
once everything gets settled down, we will be. I will be on camera as well.
well, Casey apparently loves cats with two T's and three S's. Uh, I don't. I believe that's a fictional kind of
Cats.
cats. It's the stuttering cat. So
Don't
we
make fun of our stuttering cats.
cats shouldn't stutter. Meow. So we're here today because me and Justin from the Giant Stream, we've been playing a lot of games lately, and we were just talking about like what is our favorite games, and we decided to to go make some lists. We made top 100 lists, our personal lists off to the side, and then I asked our two other hosts here on the show, Andrew and Edward, who's not going to join us today, I don't think, to make some lists as well. So they made two top 25 lists. So we're going to compare these, and we're going to put together a definitive that totally will never change again, written in stone list, right? That's what it
Yes,
is.
100%.
Like
I haven't changed my
time
mind.
stops after we finish the list. It
Hmm.
never goes forward. Things never change.
Yep.
That's right. And
I,
just
I,
so
to-
everybody knows, here's a spoiler alert: Dragon's Dogma is number one.
Yeah, clearly.
yeah, we have already decided. Number one, we're going to make a plaque in Dragon's Dogma's name.
Yeah. So that is an inside joke, and that is it's a very fun inside joke. Hopefully Duncan will watch this and go, "That those motherfuckers." I hope he does
Uh,
that.
you can hear about this inside joke on our after show, the Talking Groundbreakers.
Oh,
It's like
talking ground,
yeah,
digging ground,
it's like the Talking Dead, but
breaking
uh,
ground.
we don't do that.
Yeah,
Right. We don't have Norman Reedus pop up occasionally.
man, we need to give Snoop Dogg $5,000 so he can pop up occasionally.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that'd be fun. I don't know. He has
want
his
to
own.
hear-
He has his own stream right now. He left his stream going for 24 hours the other day, and got really weirded out by it.
You just see like clouds of smoke like wafting by the camera every now and then.
Well, of course. Why not? So I have my screen shared with my two cohorts, and we're going to shoot for this to be a multi-part series. And tonight we're going to try to get through 30, but if we get through 20, I think we'll be where we're needing to be. So what's making this list a little special is depending we're gonna try to stream. We're making this list. Me and Justin's gonna have a little podcast or something, or whoever wants to join in our hosting, and we're gonna try to do a little cast about the game, about like a numbered game, and then we're gonna try to play those games both on Janstream and here on the Groundbreakers for about a week before we move on to our next top game. Now, some of these are going to be difficult to play due to just how difficult it is to either get the original game or to emulate it. Which we don't emulate anything here on the Groundbreakers, do we?
No, I don't even know what that is.
No, emulate. What's that?
The way you're saying that makes me think the opposite, but I will believe you.
Yeah, we don't do any of that kind of stuff here.
We probably won't be playing any Dance Dance Revolution.
Any what?
Any of the Dance Dance Revolutions.
Yeah, any of the 7 potential Dance Dance Revolutions that's going to be on our list, right?
Yes.
The Guitar Heroes might also be difficult.
Yeah, Edward currently has my Guitar Hero set up, so that might be. Although I know I have at least 5 guitars here in the back room somewhere. I don't think I have another drum set though. I know I got a few guitars though. So let's just get into it, and let's talk about our number 100 game. Okay.
Bye.
So, Justin, would you like to talk about your number 100 game?
Yeah.
Now, all of these documents can change. The documents that I have listed, you guys should be able to change those at any time if we have to. But I do have a running document here at the top. So, what is your personal number 100 game there, Justin?
I don't know.
It's Mega Man Zero.
What? Okay, so my list is gone.
Your list is gone. Go into our chat, our personal Discord chat. Oh, you are bad. You had ample time to prepare for this.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You had plenty of time to prepare for this.
Why is there a picture of a penis?
I don't know. Who knows? But your number 100 game is Mega Man Zero. That's what I have. That's what I have listed right now, and I'm sharing the screen that you can look at, which has your list on it.
You just all right, cool. Yep, that looks like that's mine. Mega Man Zero. It's Mega Man Zero, and it's my 100. What do you want to know?
Well, explain. Like, what makes that your number 100 game?
Okay. Well, it's got my favorite Mega Man character in it. It's not. He's not as badass as he was in the originals. Well, not well, the X series.
That was the X series, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not as good, but it's still good to see that Zero continues on in the story. Without X or Axel or any of the other cast of characters I didn't want to play. But it's not as good. It's just not up there with the other ones. But it's still serviceable. Like every once in a while, I'll pull it out of not an emulator because we don't do that, and I'll play it.
Okay, well, what makes it so special? Like, what makes this game better or worse? Because I think you have some Mega Man games above this on the list. What makes this
Yeah.
better or worse than what you have?
The graphics are they just they're not as good for me. Like I know that we're talking about an SNES game compared to I think Game Boy Advanced game.
You have a PlayStation. Well, I mean, if you put Legends in this, that's a PlayStation 1 game, but that's not the
Okay, well
same kind
I
of
don't
game.
really count Legends in that because Zero wasn't in Legends.
Oh, okay.
No mention of him at all in Legends. Um, he in the original in the Mega Man X series he has like a lot of really he's just known for his saber. He's known for like a lot of really cool moves that he can do with it. He's kind of like got a badass attitude about everything. And in this, he's kind of things are just happening to him, and he's just kind of kind of more bitchier about things, kind of bitch made. And but it's still a good series, but it's just not as good as X was dealing with him.
Okay. Wes, thank you for the like. So in Mega Man Zero, you play as Zero predominantly, and you go and you got. Do you still got like the Buster arm and all that stuff, or do you just primarily use the sword?
You get your choice of a couple of weapons. You get he doesn't have a Buster anymore. He has just a gun, a little pew pew gun.
Little pew pew, pew
Little
boy.
yeah, little pew pew boy. And he has like depending on which one you play, he has like a spear thing or like it's like a little whip thing that he can throw or that he can use. Uh, they all have their good situational, you know, times, but if you're gonna play Zero, you're mostly coming there to see him swing that sword around and be a badass with
Okay.
it. And I guess the whole point of the game was that X is gone, and because Zero is such a colossal, unintentional bad guy in the series, he sealed himself away. And then after a whole bunch of horrible shit happens throughout the series, he's finally found, and they're like, "Oh, you." But it's not completely him, but it is at the same time.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's a good continuation of the series for him.
Okay. And what makes that game so? And is that what that makes that game in your top 100? Is that what's very special about the game?
Yeah, it's a continuation of my favorite character of that
Oh,
series.
of your favorite character in the series.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
but it hits the bottom of it hits that high in the list just because it's not it's not what I would consider the greatest interpretations.
Okay. So my number 100 game is Forza Horizon, the original Forza Horizon. So this is a Xbox 360 game. It is the first time Forza, which is predominantly known as a racing sim game, stepped outside of that box and decided to make something a little bit more arcadey, a little bit less sim-like. So it's an open world racer. You got hundreds of cars to choose from, and it's open world set in Colorado. So you can get out there, you can race in Colorado, you can do some all that cool Forza stuff out in Colorado. So you can make it as much sim or not sim like as you want. And I mean, we saw some stuff like this around that same era. So you had like Burnout Paradise and stuff like that. But Forza has real cars in it, and the soundtrack was really really killer. And I really like what that game done for racing, because now we've seen it laid the groundwork for the last two Horizon games that have been getting progressively even better than Forza Horizon. But it's sitting at number 100 just to show, cause like to me, you have to have that groundwork before you get something as good as Forza 3.
Uh, Now I have not played this game. But I have played like Driver and all this. And Driver was mostly like a big racing sim. And I think it was like Driver 3 where you could eventually like your character could get out of a car.
Well,
And,
Driver was a police sim, not really a racing sim, right?
was it? I thought it was racing.
Yeah, Driver, you played an undercover cop.
Is there a?
Yes.
I thought I raced.
Nope. You played undercover cop in Driver.
No, could have swore I raced somebody, but all right.
You probably did. There's probably a few missions where you had to race someone, but
Because you can't blow your cover. You have to do it, so they
Yeah.
believe that you're.
but yeah, Driver is a undercover cop game.
Okay, well
Now, notably, we don't have. There's not many of us here on the cast that play racing games, and I think I'm notably might be the only one of the four of us that do. So, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage here because y'all don't play racing games, but so I get that. Andrew, if you were to put something like that far down the list, what would you nominate for number 100? Because I know you gave me a top 25.
I would probably put my Dino Crisis.
Okay,
vote.
you
My
put
Dino
what? Dino
Crisis
Crisis
100?
2? Okay,
Yeah.
give us
Okay, so
an explanation.
here's my pitch for Dino Crisis 2 being at 100. Just because I really want it on the list, for one. Two, it was the first game that I ever beat. Like, by myself. It was the first game that I ever beat by myself with no one helping me. I just banged my head against the wall trying to beat this game whenever I was it was about like 10.
So that's
Or something like that.
PS1, right?
Yeah, so I was probably less than 10 years old trying to play this game. And Dino Crisis 1 is way more Resident Evil, like on the horror side of Resident Evil. But Dino Crisis 2, they went the other way, and it is a very much basically an arcadey type thing. And if you beat the game, and it plays a lot more like Resident Evil does, where you beat the game, and the point of beating the game is so you can go back and start over and do like special. You get like infinite ammo the second time through.
Oh,
and
that's very
all that kind of
Resident
stuff.
Evil. Now, well, current
Yeah.
Resident Evil, yeah.
Yeah, and I just think that it's a very unique game, and I wish that series had continued on past that weird sci-fi game. The weird like sciencey whatever Dino Crisis 3 was.
Okay.
I didn't know they made a Dino Crisis 3.
That's a PS3
here's-
2 game, I think.
No, Dino Crisis was PlayStation only. Dino Crisis 2 was PlayStation only. Dino Crisis 3 was Xbox only.
Oh, interesting.
I actually watched the video on this game on Dino Crisis 3 not too long ago, and it kind of blew my mind a little bit. But
So West really enjoyed Forza Horizon, and I do appreciate that, West. But I don't think my Forza Horizon sticks to our list, so I don't think it stays on.
now, do
So-
you have any other Horizons higher up on your list?
I think that's the only Forza game I have on my list at all.
Hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and take that off of our list because I don't think that it stays on at all. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. But so, which one of those two games do you think sticks at the 100, or do you think we move or do we hold one of those maybe for like later into the list? What do you think there? Because so there are a couple of games on this list, and I'm sure there's a couple of games on Justin's list too that are very much our. They're on there because of how we felt at that time or what that game meant to us, and I think that's a good thing to have on a list. Is a game that means something to us. But
Yeah.
what do you guys think? What are you thinking?
This far into the numbers, I'm not going to fight for many of mine to stay on the list. Like once we get to like 20 or top 10 or something, yeah, I'll fight for them. But 100, I can get rid of 100.
Okay, so
it would just if I would love it if Dino Crisis 2 hit 100.
all right, so we in agreement. Dino Crisis 2, 100.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Dino Crisis. Yeah,
All right, that means that me and you have to play Dino Crisis 2, Justin.
I'm cool with that. It's been a couple of years since I did it, but I'll do it.
I saw Dino Crisis 2, huh?
Guess I'll have to go down to my local Toys R Us or EB Games and buy that Dino Crisis 2.
We do need. You know what? I might go to a Babbage's.
Ooh, Babbage's.
I go
Can't
to
wait
a
to go down.
Babbage's.
I just can't wait to go down to the Biltmore Square Mall and
To the
see-
Babbage's. Get you a Dino Crisis 2. Go down to the Walden Books. Pick up.
Oh yeah, I was
know,
just about to say I want to go down to the Walden Books and pick out
a brand new Forgotten Realms second edition, maybe starter guide. Yeah.
Ooh, no, I was going to pick up an Animorphs.
Oh, an Animorphs.
Yeah.
An Animorphs book. Yeah. I might get a Goosebumps.
Ooh. My favorite was always the Monster Bloods.
Oh, yeah.
I like the one where they all turn into dinosaurs. That one's pretty good.
So it turns into Dino Crisis 2?
Yep.
All right, I guess we're going to have a dinosaur week.
All right. So we're going to move into our number 99 slot. I'll start with my 99 slot, and then we'll go from there. I really wish Edward was here to help us out with some of this. So my 99 slot is Fallout 2. Fallout 2. This is
Fallout 2. Okay.
Yes.
Fallout 2's good.
West is like Goosebumps. Ooh. So Fallout 2. Oh man. This is a game from my childhood. I think it's one of the first PC games I might have played when I got an actual PC that could play games. So this takes place about, I want to say it takes place like, I want to say 30 or 40 years after the events of Fallout 1. So in Fallout 1, let me get a little backstory here. You come from Vault 13. The water chip in Vault 13 was malfunctioning, so you have to go out there and find a water chip. So you do the thing, but like some things happen, and you as the Wanderer kind of, there's a couple of different options to do in the game. Like you can have a couple of different endings. But the canonically is that you save the place and then you just go off into the desert and you save everybody, you create a new tribe there, and everything like that happens. So Fallout 2 opens up with probably the reason why it's so high on the, I guess low on the list. No, it would be high on the list. High on the list. The reason why it's 99, let's say that, is because it has one of the most excruciatingly painful tutorial stages of any game. Like, you have to do this thing called the trials, where you have to show, you got to kill some scorpions, you got to kill some rats. Who would have thought a Fallout game where you have to kill roaches and rats and scorpions and geckos? And it's just garbage. Like you don't have any skills, you don't have any real weapons. But once you get out of Fallout 2, once you get out of the tutorial, Fallout 2 becomes a open world. It becomes like an open world sim, and it allows you to do whatever you want to. So it takes place in like the not the Las Vegas area, but the Reno area. So you could go to Reno and if you wanted to, you could gamble. You could get like intertwined in like the local dealings there. If you, it's really interesting too because I was a kid when I played this and I didn't know what a fluffer was. But you can be a fluffer in this game if you want to be. Uh, you can go and fluff people for caps if you want to do so. But
All right.
like you meet some people that was in Fallout 1 and now they're older now, so if you've played Fallout 1, you know some of the same characters. The area that you helped in Fallout 1 is now prospered because you know the water chip made it really made them a powerful area of the world, which that turned themselves into the New California Republic. So, which we see in later games. So, it there's so many ties to Fallout 2. Like it, it's really the game that showed us what Super Mutants was. Uh, I don't know. Like without Fallout, like Fallout 1 is a great game, but Fallout 2 for a hexagon based game is it's just so much better. Like Fallout 1 had a time limit, so you only had a
Mhm.
certain amount of days. You only had so many days to complete the main quest, and if you failed, then you failed. Fallout 2 doesn't have that. You're just out there trying to find the Eden machine, basically to turn not New Vegas, I guess New Reno really into Eden. To make everything good again, and I don't know, man. It's so much more open. Uh, what it does when it comes to open world games and how to think outside the box is what makes Fallout 2 on this list to me. Because to me personally, it was the first game that showed me that I could do things that, like, the computer has a set thing that most people will go for. If you don't want to do it that way, if you just want to sneak in a hand grenade into someone's desk and blow them up that way, you can do that. And that was one of the first games that showed me that games can be more than what the programmers designed.
Well, I got a question.
Sure,
You seem to really like this game.
I
How is
do.
it only 99?
So the way I look at Fallout 2 is over time things date themselves. Things become more dated, more unobtainable. Like it's harder for newer players to play. And
Right.
I think if you look at Fallout 2's gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, it 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 doesn't hold up the way something like New Vegas or something like that does. Um, Fallout 2 is very archaic in a lot of ways. The art direction being a 2D isometric game with, maybe 15 frames a second as you're walking around, it isn't super good, you know. So, oh, thank you, Casey, for the like. Appreciate that. And to me, that's what pushed it so far down the list is because it's hard. I think it would be hard for today's gamers, or if you were a new gamer, to relate to that game. That's why I have some games from the Fallout series. That's why I have a game from the Fallout series way toward the top of my list. That is a better example of what Fallout is today.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Justin, would you like to take your 99 game?
Yeah. My 99 game is a SNES game called Lucy. It's a traditional JRPG that is it's good. It's the story is really good, but I would say that the probably the mechanics maybe the graphics and just the overall just feel of the game isn't the best, but it's the story of it is just tremendously good. Just a little, just a short little background. These there's four beings called the Sinistrals. Are they're very powerful magical beings that are very evil. They come and they start destroying cities and just big bad guys as you do. And it's your job to go and stop them. But there's one missing. And you can't find her. It turns out there's a reason you can't, and it's kind of a shitty reason. Shitty as in sad, not shitty as in the bad reason. Not there. So it's a really good story. Kind of sad in the end. But I'd say the biggest downfall is its graphics.
Okay.
The even for a Super Nintendo game, the spell graphics leave a lot to be desired. I've seen a lot more out of other games, but I'd say that's the reason why it hits so low or high, depending on which way you're flopping this list around. But it's definitely worth a play if you're into RPGs. You're looking for like an old ass game to just sit there and play.
And this is a JRPG, right?
It kinda, yeah.
Okay. Wes says, in all honesty, he doesn't think he's actually played 100 different games. well, Wes, you're not as old as dirt as me and Justin is. So.
No, that was part of my like.
I'm
I was.
younger than you.
Well, when I was doing my list, I made sure that I only put games that I'd finished on.
Okay.
And that was I think I've played probably 100. I think I've played 100 games. I just have not completed 100 games. So yeah, that was a barrier to me making a top 100.
That's reasonable. Like if you're looking at things that you have that you've completed, then that would be a little different.
That was my bar. Was have I beat this? If I didn't, I don't think I liked it enough to put it on the list.
So I think there are maybe 3 or 4 games on my list that I haven't 100% completed. But not a ton. But a lot of the ones that I haven't completed, I know that they're good, and like
Pretty sure
I knew from the out. Like I'm like, yeah, that's a good game.
Pretty sure I've completed all of them, except games like Rock Band or something like that. you can't beat those games. I mean, I guess you can go through the campaign as far as you can, but
Right.
you don't really beat those games.
Like Dead Cells or something like that, where it just what's beating this?
That's true.
Yeah, it's kind of like, did you beat
Oh,
World of
wow.
Warcraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat World of Warcraft. I was there the whole time.
So, Andrew, if you was going to nominate something for the 99 slot, doesn't necessarily have to be from your list. What do you think you would nominate?
That's a hard one. I would probably lean into that one, or whatever I had at like 25. Was it Zuma? Is that what I had at 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would put at 25.
Well, let's talk about Zuma for a second.
Oh my god! Did anyone else play? Who else played Zuma?
We both have played Zuma. Like when I was going through your list, Justin was like, "Is that fucking like frog game?"
Yeah, with the 3 colors. Yep.
Yeah.
That was.
Did anybody play pop games in the early 2000s?
Oh man, PopCap games were good back then.
I just that was another. when stuff was going on in my life, I could just be like, I'm just gonna go play and get mad at this game. Let me just match some colors up. Oh no. And it was just it's just a fun game. Like, it's very simple. It knows what it does, what it does. It set out to do this and it accomplished it. And
Yeah,
I just think it's a fun game.
I mean, Zuma, Bejeweled, any match three, like PopCap basically made the match three category, right? Which I have a match three game coming up on my list that isn't a PopCap game, but it took what PopCap was doing and made it into something more.
Like, is that the Hand of Fate? Is that what it is?
No, it's called Puzzle Quest.
Puzzle Quest. Okay.
And
Yeah, Hand of Fate's something different. Yeah.
Hand of Fate's is a little different. But to be honest, like I don't know. I kind of want to move. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Like, and we don't have to take anything off of these lists. Like, if we can talk about putting these games higher on the list if we think that they deserve to be higher. You know what I mean? It's just
like
this. In my personal opinion, I think Fallout 2 is on the 99 slot. But if you guys think differently, if you think it's higher, then you can say so. Or if you think Lufa should be higher, or anything, like, you know, this list can be fluid. We can change it as we wish. Nothing's locked in.
I like Lufia. Don't get me wrong. But I ain't willing to fight for it. At 99, no, I'm not willing to fight for that. I haven't played Fallout 2, but I know enough about it to be like, yeah, it's a good game. And I have played Zuma. I had Flash back in the day. So
See, I only ever played it on the 360. That's the only thing I ever played it on. I didn't even know it was on the computer.
What? This gets even worse.
So okay. So here's my proposal. I think we put Zuma at 99 and Fallout 2 at 98.
All right.
Well, then what about 98s?
Well, we'll talk about that here in a second.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. Pushing,
but because I think a simple. Well, I don't know. Okay, because I really like Puzzle Quest as well. Casey's like, Zuma should definitely not be ahead of Fallout 2.
Well,
Or do you, or Justin, are you against Zuma? Are you anti-Zuma?
I'm not anti-Zuma. It's just a weird thing to put on the list.
I kind of agree.
I'm not going to argue for Zuma. I got my Dino Crisis 2 at 100.
Okay.
That's fine.
So why don't we put Fallout 2 at 99?
Have at it.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to just keep putting up random things.
Okay, 98.
Can't wait till we put Scorch up there.
98, and this is Justin, you were up here, and I actually kind of messed up here because I have a list that's supposed to be the same, and I forgot that your 98 is Super Mario 64, which Edward is sitting at his personal list at number 24. So you two agree on Super Mario 64. Now, I don't agree, but make your case for Mario 64. Like, I mean, I know that I am in the...
I gotta say, you were like, what?
I know I'm in the minority, because I don't really like Nintendo 64 games or GameCube games that much.
Well,
so...
Nintendo 64, like... Okay, Nintendo 64 didn't have the best game. GameCube, I had some good ones.
Like, I have a few games. Like, I think I have Metroid Prime on my list, but there's not many games on the GameCube or the N64 that are bangers for me.
And I'm not a Nintendo guy. So
So you got to make
no.
you got to make your point clear here, Justin. Edward would have been their backup. But I
Edward,
will
that
say
was
this for what that game is. I honestly think for what that game is, it deserves to be higher on the list. Even though I don't
Gracie,
really like Mario 64.
I feel like Edward would be like, "You what? You have it this low? What is or
Yeah,
high? Whatever on it."
well, since I have it, since mine is at 98, it's obviously not up there being like that important to me.
right.
But it is a. I felt that Nintendo 64 needed a little bit of a shout out on this, and I don't know why it's so high on Edward's list or low, whatever. Um, so Edward's probably got a stronger boner for it than I do,
So
but I would
I
say
would
that
say
it's out of the Mario games that I have played, and believe me, there's a lot of them. It doesn't have quite as many mechanics and all the stuff, but I think it was cool. It was like one of the first like 3D ones that we had, where everything's kind of you got this sprawling castle, which is pretty cool. You got some little cool Easter eggs. Like if you look at the thing at the right time, you can see like the Triforce down at a little fucking well or something.
So Wes says that the only games he played on the 64 was Mario 64 and that James Bond game that he think is GoldenEye. Yeah, you're correct. It's GoldenEye. And Melissa wants to know, why is it all about the boner? Why do you got to have a boner for Mario games?
I don't have a boner for Mario. I was saying that towards Edward because it was so much higher on his list than mine.
So yeah, I remember being in Toys R Us. No, I was in Sears. I remember being in Sears in like the mid '90s, looking at all the new stuff coming out. So I remember seeing the Sega CD there. I remember seeing the 3DO there. I remember seeing, and I remember the first time I saw Mario 64. I'm not going to lie, that blew my fucking socks off. I didn't know what was going on. What is this controller? What is this thing?
The controller was a fucking disaster.
That controller, I how do I hold this? What is this thing? You know, Justin, your camera got all screwy. There he goes. Okay.
It's not my fault.
Montgomery Wards. I remember Montgomery Wards too, Melissa.
Stop being fucking old. God damn. Everything you have said is just the oldest.
I'm just an old dude, man. I can't help it.
I remember the Great Depression. I remember Hitler. Good God.
Donkey Kong was the same kind of thing. So Donkey Kong is a rare game. So that's for the same people that done Banjo Kazooie. Although, but I remember those things. But Mario 64, I was like, what is this? Like, it blew my mind. And I will say that about Mario 64. Even though it's not on my list at all, it is very, very important to video games. Now, do we put that? Do we take that and put that on the list because of how important it is to video games in general? Or
no, because I don't believe that's what's in the list. Like I don't think that's what the list is for.
okay,
I think did we?
This is the Groundbreakers list, not the.
not yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was important to video games and it was in all that, but this list is for. Yeah, I would definitely play this game again, and while I would play that game, nostalgia just isn't winning me through the thought process of playing that game again. So I'm willing to drop it. I think it was just a good game for its time.
So
And it did some things that blew my fucking mind as well. I was like, oh shit, you can see behind Mario. Holy shit.
so let's fight a little bit about my 98 slot, which is Call of Duty Black Ops. That's my 98 slot. Call of Duty Black Ops, which I believe, to me, is probably like it's the first time I played Black Ops was last year. I played it on stream. I played the entirety of that game on stream, and man, I kind of fell in love with that game. Like I wished I would have played that when it first came out because
Black Ops is fucking good.
it's an
Like,
amazing game.
You know, like I don't think I would
Really,
put it
a
above
Call of
90.
Duty. What about Pitfall, Melissa? I don't know. What about Pitfall? but
Uh,
but Black
not,
Ops
all right,
was
98 Pitfall.
no.
I would put. I don't think I would put Black Ops above 90 or above 90, below 90, whatever the word is. Like from 90 to 100, I wouldn't put it below 90 there. I wouldn't put it 89 or whatever. But I do think it needs to be higher than 98. I think like 95 would be my vote for
Oh really?
Black Ops. Yeah, because Black Ops is fucking good. And it has the best.
So it has
It has the
zombie
best
mode.
zombies. Yeah, the best zombie mode in Black Ops.
That was the first one that had zombie mode, if I'm not mistaken.
World at War had zombie
World of
mode.
War had zombie mode. Yeah.
Because World at War's map was the original map was that one lone house
Yeah, that's
where
right.
you could go upstairs and downstairs, and that was the entire map.
But that's
But
where
Black Ops has the big theater.
it has the big theater. You can be JFK and kill zombies.
Yep.
And that's kind of cool.
Yep.
I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know what got me into it. It was I was playing through the campaign mode, and like the first stage is is an assassination attempt against Fidel Castro, and I think that's just kind of cool. I just think that's neat, and you end up killing like Castro's like body double, and that sends
Yep.
you down a whole path, and it has a great twist. Like the whole like the twist is amazing, where you're like the whole time you're like, okay, these people are torturing me. Like, who is this person? Is Mason being tortured by who? And the reveal, like, spoiler alert, is that this guy that keeps showing up to help you isn't there at all.
Nope, it's
It's-
just you.
It's just you have been you're basically a weapon that is it's BioShock 1's twist, but
Yep.
but in the 1960s, and I don't know. I think it's a cool twist.
And the main character who you play is Sam Worthington, the guy from Avatar, and the Russian dude is Gary Oldman.
Yeah, great voice actor, great actors.
Yeah.
But no, Fortnite is not on my list. I don't think Fortnite's on any of our lists. Even though it was my most played game of 2017, I think. Just kind of weird. I don't know.
I would put Black Ops higher up. That's what I would do.
Well, what do you move
Dude, it's just
down?
Or I meant closer to 1.
Yeah, I know what you're
where that
saying.
is.
Let's say okay. Let's get some ground rules here, I guess. So when we say down, we're
Yeah.
talking like closer to 100, and when we say
Yeah.
up, we're talking closer to 1. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I would put Black Ops higher up.
So me and you have played Black Ops, right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Justin, have you played it?
No, I'm not much of a Call of Duty guy.
So I've played N64. I mean, I've play N64. I've played Super Mario 64 before, and I have beat Super Mario 64. And you see, I would also put that game higher in the list as well.
And clearly
Um,
Edward would as well, with his having it at 24.
So I'm gonna put some asterisks beside these. Okay.
Hit Control Z.
Control. I don't think that works.
What about all F6?
Don't worry about it. No.
F4?
I'm good.
Alt F4.
I'm gonna put a little asterisk besides this. So we're going to come back and look at those games, okay?
Yeah.
Can I do anything to Justin's thing? Apparently I cannot. I am not an editor of Justin's. So, all right. So let's just think about that a little bit. So why don't we move to? Can I move to Puzzle Quest? I'm going to nominate actually Puzzle Quest to the 98 slot because we talked about Zuma earlier, and yes, Control Alt Delete all that shit, West. We talked about Zuma earlier, and in our Zuma conversation, I brought up Bejeweled, and Puzzle Quest is Bejeweled, but with spells and fighting things and quests and leveling up a character and all of that. It puts an RPG behind Puzzle Quest, behind Bejeweled.
Oh shit.
So you match up 3 orbs to generate mana, and you can kit out your character in different ways. So you can like equip different weapons that require different types of mana, or you can equip different spells that require different types of mana that does things to the field. So on the field, you'll also see skulls pop up, and you can match those skulls to do direct damage to your opponent, or you can like match up different types of mana to cast spells to like prevent your opponents from generating their own mana, or or you can deal direct damage to them that way, or you can like tie them up so they can't make weapon attacks, or you can like turn the board different colors, so you could like turn all the like let's say you get it lined up and there's a bunch of red stuff in the way of like a skull, and you have a spell that turns all of the red orbs into skulls. Well, you can do that, match that up, and make a huge hit to your opponent, and it gives you an extra turn. So it gives a little bit of strategy elements and RPG elements to Bejeweled. And yes, it can be a huge time sinker. So if you had your little DS out and you're hanging out just waiting for the movie or riding in a car, man, Puzzle Quest was a great time.
I'm fine with Puzzle Quest at 98.
Justin, what do you have it? Do you want to nominate anything instead, or
Uh, at 98. I mean, is Bejeweled like better than Super Mario 64?
well, we're putting an asterisk beside 64. We're gonna talk about that later, I think.
Okay.
Unless you like, because I think it deserves. I think Mario 64 deserves to be on the list, but I think it deserves to be uh higher on the list.
For 98, I mean, I guess Bejeweled can have the 98. So yeah, sure.
But Schultz. Okay, let's put Puzzle Quest in. I really enjoy Puzzle Quest. Oh yeah, Guitar Hero on the DS is kind of interesting. You had the little key attachment that you put on the back. It was pretty neat. I dig that. I hear the cat. So let's move into the 97 slot, which right now we got Super Mario 64.
Nope.
We have Call of Duty Black Ops,
Oh wait, you said 97 or 98?
the 97 slot. That's what we're currently discussing is the 97 slot.
Oh, you said 97 was Super Mario.
No, yeah, the things that we have to discuss about would the things that are up in the air would be Mario 64,
Oh, okay. I thought
Black Ops, or you also have World of Warcraft on your 97 slot.
I do. Yeah.
So World of Warcraft's really high on my slot, on my list, and it's high on Edward's list as well.
I figured it would be.
It is sitting at number 2 on Edward's list, and it is sitting at number 13 on my list. So why is it so low on your list, Justin?
Uh, because well, I mean, if this was
What's
if
wrong
this
with
was
WoW? Hey, I didn't have it on number 2.
if this was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, however long, it would be a lot higher. But what it's done lately is pretty garbage. What it's it used to be, hey, every month or so, there'd be like, hey, we did this cool thing for all of our fans, and it's nothing. This game doesn't really suck that much, but now it's just like, hey, and it's because of who's bought out Blizzard, but it's not as good as it once was, and
But can you count the last like 3 years, 3 or 4 years of it against the almost 20
yeah,
years that
I,
was
and
excellent?
I
yeah,
actually think you can,
and here's
and I
and
think
here's why
Justin's right on this one.
and here's why I can. Dino Crisis is 2 is being based on what it is now. All these games are being based on what they are now, and an MMO cannot is going to have to be based on what it is now, unless we're going to go talk about World War Classic or World of Warcraft Classic,
And then I wouldn't put it on the list at all.
and then I wouldn't put it on the list at all because I don't care about that. But WoW has to be held accountable for what it is now. And while I did like Shadowlands in the beginning, it got boring, it got repetitive, and they are in no hurry whatsoever to make any changes to the format to make it where I want to play it.
So, here's what I'm going to say about WoW. So Melissa's talking about it isn't amazing, and I think WoW, for what it done back then to the MMO scene, where really we had Ages of Camelot, and we had RuneScape, and we had Ultima Online and EverQuest, and what it done to change up that formula was was revolutionary because it did change the formula.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft is a game that I think that everyone should at least try. I think everyone should boot it up, play what is considered probably the best MMO of all time. And I'm going to say something pretty controversial because it's on my list and it's high on my list. I don't think it should be on our lists at all. I don't think WoW should be on our top 100 list at all. And
At all.
I would have to have a real good reason for that because so far I'm not going to agree anywhere near it.
So what World of Warcraft has let's be frank, what Blizzard has done has now created, and the more I've done some research on it, and I agree with the people that's done the research. Blizzard has made what World of Warcraft is today into a time sync game. They have time gated so many different features that the game has on purpose. They have time gated these things. They have expanded these areas out to the point where you can't use mounts, or there's one flight path in an area, and they have made the game hard to play, and they've made the game take more time than it should just so to keep those constant subscribers up. It's not good for new players. If a new player jumps into World of Warcraft, they're going to have a good time leveling, but by the time they hit 60, they're going to be burnt. They cater to only their super loyal fans that are willing to spend that time, and to me, it's just not worth my time anymore. And I love World of Warcraft, and the memories that I have of World of Warcraft from the past are just that. They're my memories, and I hold them close to my heart. But I know that that's not what that game is anymore. It is a time waster, and they have purposely made the game a time waster, and I don't jive with that anymore. So I even though it's one of my top 100 games, it's on my top 100 because of my memories and the way I feel about that game in the past, not in the present.
Here's my compromise here. Um, is there a way that we could split the game into its expansions when they came out?
So
Like,
they are currently doing that. In you mean okay? Are you talking about on the list?
yeah, on this list, is there a way that we could be like, okay, the Wrath of the Lich King or
So
Cataclysm or something like that at this
I
spot?
would probably put Wrath of the Lich King at 97. I would be okay with that.
Okay. Just because I do think it's a little bit.
Honestly,
I don't.
I would probably put Mists higher than Wrath of the Lich King because I think
Well, okay.
Mists of Pandaria
Well,
is a
like,
fantastic
I wasn't
expansion.
saying like Wrath specifically. I'm saying that approach it in that light of you guys were saying that you want to judge it or like we're judging WoW as a whole and how WoW is now compared to the 17 years that it's been out.
So I think the problem that you have with that though is that you can't experience that content the way it was created back then anymore. And we have to wait
That's
for Blizzard to do that. And we
right.
like if you as a starting player, you can't experience Wrath of the Lich King as it originally was in any way. Like you can't do that. Like
No, even when Classic catches up, you're still not going to be able to experience it the same way because everybody already knows what's going to happen. Everybody knows what like it. Those days are done. Like the only way you can only recapture that by playing a new expansion and hoping it's better than
but I might be crazy, but that's kind of how I feel about WoW nowadays. And I mean, I feel like I've been burned now for 4 years in a row on World of Warcraft, and man, I don't know if I can I don't know if I can defend that game anymore. So
that. I still think it should be on the list. Like it's I think it would it needs to be on the list somewhere. It doesn't. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think it
so
should be on
if
the top.
I think I agree with you, Justin. I think it's a perfect 97 slot. I think I'm cool with it being on 97.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
do you think, Andrew?
I don't really like. I was just trying to come up with ways for it to be on it. I had never. I tried. I've tried a couple of different expansions and it never really caught me. But I would feel really weird if we didn't put WoW on this list
Okay.
at some point. And if 97 is where you guys feel like it needs to go, I would maybe argue for 95 because however you feel about it now, you did play it for 16
I
years.
mean, it's most definitely
And
my most played video game of all time. But um,
yeah,
yeah, I just I don't know, man. I I just look at what they do, and maybe I'm looking at it as what Blizzard is doing to my baby. Like they massacred my boy, and
right.
that really sucks, you know.
Yeah. Because it used to be probably one of the greatest games ever made. Like if you know, if like I said, if this was years ago, then we would have both had it a lot higher on our lists.
So, do you think even 5 years ago, you guys would be like, "Oh yeah,
See, 5 years ago would have been Legion, which I think
Legion."
that Legion probably has been the best expansion pack in the last, probably the last 10 years. I would say.
I'd say the last one I truly liked was going to be Panda.
Yeah, Panda's real good
Yeah,
because
Panda would be after
Panda's an amazing expansion.
after Panda. I really no thank you to WoW. Like I wish it was better.
Wes played some RuneScape. Let's put RuneScape on 97.
It's just put RuneScape. It's fine. Fuck it. It's all. It's
So Melissa. So she said she wouldn't bother with a new WoW, even if people said it would be amazing. So when the new WoW expansion gets announced, I'm gonna go play it, and I'm gonna play it for about 2 months, and I'm gonna be like, motherfucker, they got me again. So because I just said that, I'm gonna put it at 97.
Yeah, it's gonna be like with any Dragon Ball Z game they make. It's gonna be the same game over and over and over. But I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna go. God damn it! They got me again.
They got me again.
It's gonna be the exact same
You
thing.
son of a bitch.
They got me again.
Some things you just gotta let them get you again, and it's okay.
Sometimes. It's okay.
Well,
So
if you told me last week that WoW would only be at 97 on the list, I'd be like, "Are you fucking insane?"
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have it high on my list because of the feels that game done for me. And maybe I'm looking at that a little bit differently, and maybe I need to drop that more further down my list. But I can't. There's too many memories attached to that game for me to drop it.
Yeah, and if I, it's the same for me. If I let all the memories of what WoW used to be, it would be definitely higher on the list. But I have to look at it what it is now, and what it is now is just not good.
But we're gonna get to all of our top fives are going to be about games that made us, are going to be about games that we have memories about. You guys are going to get the Chrono Trigger and be like, oh man, this game made me feel this when I was this age, and I have so many memories about doing this around this game.
And that's fine.
And that's
not.
It's going to be the same argument.
But that game holds up.
But those games don't change. Those games didn't change into money grab bags.
Yeah.
But WoW did. WoW did change. So,
if anything, Chrono Trigger, like, I know we're talking late game here, guys, but Chrono Trigger showed me that Chrono Trigger has shown me that JRPGs today have a big brother to look up to that they still don't surpass, because Chrono Trigger's goddamn perfect, and JRPGs have a hard time finding that magic. They really have a hard time finding that magic.
I completely agree with you. Final Fantasy VI was perfect.
I think we're gonna. How many do we want to get done today?
So I wanna shoot for 20.
Okay, we have 3 done.
We have 3 done. We've been doing this for an hour. 4. Okay, let's zip to 96. That's okay. This can be a multi-part series. It's fine. I mean, the spreadsheet doesn't go anywhere. So we still have Black Ops Cold War. Black Ops, not Cold War. Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Mario 64. And then coming down into the mix, we have Resident Evil 8. So that's the newest one. And we have Bully, so Rockstar's Bully coming into the mix. So I think 96 is a great place for Black Ops, personally.
I would push for 95 as Black Ops.
Well, what would you push for 96 then?
What was the list there again? We got, hiccups. RE8.
We got RE8, Bully, Super Mario 64, Black Ops. Or we cut stuff, which I don't know if you can cut any of those 4 games, but of those to be cut, I think
Black Ops.
I think Mario. So Black Ops being only on my list hurts that, I think, but Bully's also only on Justin's list, and that hurts that a little bit.
See, I think Black Ops would be somewhere around 30 on mine if I'd done a if I'd done a top 100. So
What do you think, Justin?
I mean, we could put Black Ops there. It's
Okay.
or Mario. I'm cool with it.
Why don't we do 96 Black Ops, 95 Mario?
I'm cool with that.
What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, and we can do this again. Like we can look at what we have. Like none of this is set in stone.
Yeah.
No, it's on computer.
Okay, so 94. Going into 94, so we skipped some things. Oh, I'm a damn liar. Borderlands 2 is on my list. I thought it wasn't. Well, I'm a damn liar. Look at me being a liar, liar, pants on fire. So
Borderlands 2 is top 50. I'm just saying.
So Borderlands 2
Borderlands 2
is
is
my. So here's what we got. We got Resident Evil 8, which was my 96 choice, and that's really high on Justin's list. That is sitting at your number 20. We have Borderlands 2, which is also sitting on two other people's lists, sitting on Edwards and Andrew's list.
Borderlands 2 is a top 50. I'm just saying.
He's pushing top 50 here. He's pushing top 50 here.
Ugh.
Yep.
Well, I certainly won't play it, but okay.
I'm really bright right
Borderlands is hot garbage.
now. Whoa. that is a statement.
There, I put it right out there.
Hold on. Let me get through these choices real fucking quick, and then we'll talk. We also have Bully and Dance Dance Revolution Max 2, which is on three people's lists as well. So I feel
Okay, so are you putting Dance Dance Revolution over WoW?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would still play it, still have as much fun as I did. And I would say that
Wes says that you're hot garbage, Justin.
It didn't say that he's fucking hot garbage. Fuck you, Wes. But kid, Wes, I tolerate you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I would put Dance Dance Revolution over WoW any day of the fucking week.
I think. Oh man, we're having some bold statements here.
Yeah, because how many times were you like, man, how many times have you complained about DDR Max 2? How many times have you just sat there and be like, it's not like what they did with it this time?
Well, let me tell you, DDR Max 2's Butterfly on Extreme made Justin pass out, and I had to catch him. Like he was playing DDR Max 2 Butterfly on Extreme. Justin was hitting marathon. It, and we were doing marathon, and he passed the fuck out, and I had to catch his ass. So.
Yeah, and I've never passed out to World of Warcraft. There's some days where it would have been better if I had him.
Well, Melissa, this was in 2003, so this has been a while.
Yeah, there was a card shop involved.
But we also have Bully,
which was amazing.
Borderlands 2 and Resident Evil 8 to talk about. So, Justin, why do you... I think you're outvoted, in all honesty, Justin. But I want to know why Borderlands 2 should not be on the list at all.
I mean, it's going to make the list because I'm outvoted, but the game is not. It's never good to me. Like I played 1, 2. I didn't bother with the rest of them.
Did you play it with friends? Because that's how I played Borderlands 2.
I played with friends multiple times, and each time I was sitting there going, I would rather be playing anything else, just because I didn't care for
it. So it just didn't jive with you.
No, it just seemed to me like just a not a
Yes,
good game.
Melissa, it was my personal card shop. We used to have a DDR, like before we would play Halo tournaments. We would break out the DDR until people would show up for the Halo tournament, and it was pretty sweet. At the card shop, right after the Magic tournament for Friday, it was good times.
Yeah,
Uh,
and on Halo nights, somebody got a facial.
that's what the guy said, at least. So
But yeah, it was it never jived with me. I always wished I could be playing something else when that game was happening. So,
but it's Diablo with guns, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Diablo did it better then, because I just didn't enjoy it. Like it was not something that was good to me.
I see. I moved for Borderlands 2, be number 50. Halfway through the list.
I disagree with that because
Disagree heavily.
Because there is a spooky little game called, I don't know. I don't know.
Matt's got his 50, and he's got.
What's your 50?
What's my
Yeah.
50?
Yeah.
My 50 is 7 Days to Die.
Okay.
A game that I put over 200 hours in the span of like 3 months.
Okay. Justin, what's your number 50 there?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know where my list is.
Pokemon Soul Silver Heart Gold.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Borderlands doesn't have to be the top 50, but it needs to be higher than 90. 96, 95.
I suggest we put Borderlands 2 at 70.
I think it should be put to the side for right now, and we'll decide that one later. Because
I would say 75. If you're putting it at 70, I would put it at 75. So it's a little bit lower, so Justin doesn't have an aneurysm that we're even putting it on the list.
Well, I mean, no, that has nothing to do with it. I just don't understand. Like, what's the criteria for it being at 75?
So, I think the criteria is that Andrew has Borderlands 2 at 14. Edward has Borderlands 2 at number 4, dude. It's in his top 5.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we already fucked him real hard when we put WoW at 96.
Well,
or 97.
I mean, it would be higher if he would have showed up to defend the list. So, I mean, that's kind of what you get when you're not here.
I'm going to put Borderlands 2 at 75. And we're going to see how that floats. Okay?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Absolutely.
I put an A in there. I didn't mean to put an A in there. I'm a dipshit.
Leave the whole thing.
Okay, that was fun. I'm sorry, Melissa. Well, what would you like? What do you think? You can post some ideas. We're open to talking about things. Don't be mad at us. This was just an idea. Yeah, spitball some things. We'd love to hear from you. Let's see. So we still have Resident Evil 8.
So what's the disparity
So-
there? You have it 90. What? Is it just too
So
new for
you
to feel
think-
comfortable?
So you wish you had played Resident Evil 8. Sorry about that. We've been kind of called up here. Resident Evil 8's good. So and that's in the air right now. And 7 Days at 50. That's my personal opinion. Justin, I think, has it at 53. and you think it should be higher on the list, eh? And West is with Justin on RE8. Justin, you have RE8 sitting at 20, and
That sounds
mine's
about
sitting at
So-
96.
And see, that's what I'm wondering. Matt, did you rate it so low because it's so new? You don't know if you actually feel that way,
So,
or
I
do you have
think
problems with the game?
I don't have problems with the game. I think it breaking my top 100 without any of its DLC tells you something about how I feel about the game, because we don't know what that game's future is going to hold yet, and
Yeah.
and I think that game's an incredibly polished game with really good replayability. I think the characters are neat. I think Ethan Winters is the most ridiculous motherfucker that Resident Evil's ever put in front of us, besides Chris Redfield. And we get Chris Redfield. Like, we get both. We get two ridiculous, dumb shit characters. It's amazing.
But here's my question, Matt. If we are holding WoW to the standard of what it is now, don't we have to do that to Resident Evil 8?
So we can, and that's why it broke my top 100. I think that says something to it.
It's just you were mentioning a lot about like DLC and not knowing where it's going to go and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much better this game's going to get. You know what I mean? Like its DLC might move this from me to 96 even higher if it has DLC later. I will say, I think I've beat the game 3 times and I'm working on the 4th. And the game, once you unlock infinite ammo, if you choose to use infinite ammo, the game's kind of just a shooting gallery. But
Yep.
but the way that this game's designed, when it comes to being like, we're going to take little pieces of all of these different Resident Evil like feels, like how each of these different Resident Evils feel. Like
Yeah.
the beginning of Resident Evil 8 feels a whole lot like Resident Evil 2's remake. You know what I mean? That whole area does. And then it breaks out into these little chunks of different types of Resident Evil. Like Chris Redfield's spot feels a whole lot like Resident Evil 6 because it's really action packed and like you feel powerful. You don't feel like you don't feel like Ethan anymore. You feel like you're a real badass, and it almost feels like a Call of Duty game. And like these different pockets of what like Resident Evil. To me, Resident Evil is a delicious package of chocolate candy, and you are Forrest Gump, and you never know what you're going to get as you eat through this delicious pocket of Resident Evil chocolates. And every one of them is good because none of them are coconut. Like it's great. But I don't. But that's what makes it crack my top 100. Being in a top 100 is an amazing thing. You know what I mean? That in itself is a good thing. Especially for something being so new. My question is, what makes that crack your top 20? Why is it so good that it's in the top 20 on your list?
Because feels a lot like 4, which was amazing. I would have likened the first part of it to more to Resident Evil 4. The characters are really good looking, and I'm not talking about Lady D. She is included in that, but I'm not just specifically her.
We talking Lady D?
You know what? The whole Lady D is my top 20. The fact the rest of the game, Lady D. No, the whole the concepts are cool. Some of the explanations behind it are a little sketchy, but the whole Ethan turns out to be what he is. The whole thing is very tight and it's very good. Like it's the first time going through that, it is just an amazing experience, and
I agree.
I mean
That
that's
first playthrough is fantastic.
yeah, and to be genuinely freaked out by a baby monster running around like that is
Yeah,
just
let's
really
let's do a little bit of spoiler alert a little bit. So if you don't want to know about Resident Evil, you can mute us for a little while. But there's a very spooky scene where a giant baby monster chases you around and you have no weapons, and your only recourse is to hide or run.
yeah.
So that's
And
the Alien Isolation level, I guess.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
and I had two girls in my Twitch chat while I was playing that section, and both of them were like, "I am never having kids." Just it it, it was so good and so intense that yeah, people the reaction was nothing is ever coming out of my birth canal. Fuck this.
So
That
so
that is a cool response
so
to
then
to a scene.
what do you propose about Resident Evil 8 then?
I mean, you already see what I propose.
Yeah, but I mean,
Where do you want me to
Do you have-
compromise?
yes.
Are there any?
I
Are
don't
there
know.
any other? Are there any other Resident Evils on either of y'all's list right now?
Maybe.
Let's see here. I'm pretty
Maybe
sure
maybe 4.
4 is sitting at 29 for me. 4 is sitting at number 6 for Justin.
Yeah, see, I'm stuck in that Capcom D right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have Biohazard in mine, I think.
and
Or
you
did I
have
drop it?
RE7 sitting at 24. Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking loved RE7, but
RE7's good. It take Resident Evil 8 takes 7 and 4, and they make a baby out of it, and that baby is good.
but you each have 4 higher up on y'all's respective lists, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that giant baby was probably one of the freakiest things I've seen out of Resident Evil in a while. And so okay, so I will talk a little bit about the baby because I feel like it's a sweet foreshadowing scene, because especially your second or third playthrough you start seeing how they foreshadow what's going on a little bit more, and you hear that baby giggling really early into that part of the game, into that stage, because the game's really, well, what, like 5 stages, wouldn't you say, Justin?
Yeah.
And that stage of the game, you hear like the baby making weird baby noises early on, and I really dig that. And when you finally get to see what is creating these baby noises, it is just, because like your flashlight hits it, and you're like, "Oh, what is that?" And then it starts crawling, and you're like, "Oh no!" And you just gotta get out of there.
And then it goes da 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 as it crawls towards you. You're like, nope.
As
So,
it
Matt,
wiggles
what's your-
its tumor body around.
You're like, I don't want that, and I'm not paying child support.
So, what's your argument against it being higher, Matt?
My only argument is probably 4 being higher on our lists. But I think I can compromise. I think a good place for 8 would be somewhere in the 60s. I think we could put it at 65 and talk about it later if we need to.
I have no horse in this race. I'm all about. I haven't played it yet, so
I'll agree to 65, but we put an asterisk next to it, and we're talking, and we're gonna
Okay.
revisit this issue
Reasonable.
because I feel like it deserves a lot higher than that.
That's reasonable. Okay. I completely agree. So we still haven't made a 94 selection. Our choices for 94, because we ended up with Mario 64 being at 95. So we have okay. So my choice is Need for Speed Most Wanted. And I'm gonna have to stretch this one out a little bit. We have DDR Max 2, Bully, XCOM Unknown. That we haven't. That's still in the air. That's what we have in the air. And okay, I'm gonna take. Does anyone want to back me on Need for Speed Most Wanted at all?
I never played it, so no. Just mostly because I can't. I don't know anything about it.
Okay. So, I don't think it goes. I don't think anyone will back me on it. So I'm just gonna take a small little time here to talk about Need for Speed Most Wanted. So Need for Speed, to me, Most Wanted is the pinnacle of what that game franchise is and was. It was the first game on the 360 that really made me go wow, because the kind of like you can play it now and be like, oh, this isn't great. Oh, okay. West liked Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition more than Most Wanted. That's reasonable. But Most Wanted had great car chases. You could like juke the cops into like falling into traps that you lay in front of them. Like you could like bust through a barrier and drop like a sign in front of the cops, and the cops would hit it. And you create like a heat meter started rising in the game. So the more heat you had, the more cops you had. The soundtrack was great, and I'll tell you the best part about the game is the very first starter car is my divorce mobile right out here in my in my parking spot, and that is what makes it my personal 94 game of all time, because I own the starting car for Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Now, well, okay. Now, I will let it be on at this. I'll let you put it on the list if you answer this one question.
Sure.
When you start the car up in game, does it click?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Well, then it doesn't deserve to be on the
list. Let me tell you, my divorce mobile right out here is just as resilient as it is in the Need for Speed Most Wanted series.
Except it sounds like it's going to blow up at any moment.
It's amazing. And I'm gonna take my Need for Speed and go home, because I know I don't have any backup when it comes to that, and I'm okay with it. So we have Bully, Dance Dance Revolution Max 2, XCOM Enemy Unknown, or do you want to put anything forward there, Andrew?
I'm trying to find my list. Can you bring up? You have my list.
Yes,
there,
I can bring it up.
Right
there, you go. It's on the share screen right now.
Let me view it. 3 Elder Scrolls. No, there's not really anything there that I think I would have any backup on. Putting it that low on the list, honestly.
Okay.
So, no, I think my vote of those would be Dance Dance. But just because I feel like...
So, Dance Dance Revolution is on 3 of our lists. It's on 17 on Edwards. It is on 95 on Justin. And I actually think it's higher on my list. It is at 92 on my list. So, I agree. I agree. our 94 slot, Dance Dance Revolution Max 2.
All right.
Justin gives you the
Melissa
the
also
nod of approval.
agrees. She's rooting for the Dance Dance.
All right.
DDR.
All right, so Little Butterfly coming in at 94.
Breakdown.
No. Blow My Whistle Baby, actually. That is the one.
Breakdown is the best song on it.
All right. Then now we're gonna have a separate top 100 of the best songs from Dance Dance, and then we'll get back
I mean,
to the...
it's either In the Navy by Captain Jack or
Or the Kylie Minogue song.
or the Kylie Minogue song. Oh man,
So-
now that's the one.
So you guys are gonna be playing these games on stream, right?
Yes,
So you
somehow
guys
or
are gonna
another,
be
I'm gonna
playing
have
these-
to round up a pad at some point in time. We might have to push the DDR one off to the side because I got to round up a pad and a PS1 or a PS2. A PS2. I have to round up a PS2 and a pad. So that one might be a special.
Yeah, you'll see our fat asses dance.
Yeah,
Alright.
we'll definitely do it. That will be a to be dated though because I got to round up some stuff for that one. So.
All right.
So 93. We got for our choices. We got Bully, XCOM, Enemy Unknown, Pillars of Eternity, Twisted Metal 2. Or unless you want to put something forward on the lists, Andrew.
I don't think so. I do think that at a certain point, we're gonna have to start knocking options off.
I agree. I think we're gonna have to.
I will take XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Pick XCOM off. Don't feel strongly about it. Do you want to talk about it, any? You want to talk about why it's on your list or anything like that?
I really like the promotion system and the research and all that. I did play it today
The
a little
research
bit.
system is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I played a little bit today and got really annoyed with it.
So, I like how that game has a prequel called The Bureau that's set in the 50s and the 60s. And I also enjoy how that's one of the that game's really cool because you lose in that game. XCOM 2 is set in a world in which XCOM the outcome is that you failed. And I really like that about XCOM. So I give it props to being one of those games where the heroes lose, and I really like that. It also, like what that game does when it comes to tactical games is few and far between. So that game's really good at what it does tactically. I feel that the Gears Tactics is up there right now when it comes to tactics, but XCOM being the original, like even way back in the day, being on the PC XCOM being a tactics based game, I give it major props for what it done to bring like a tactical war game to a computer game. I give it a lot of props for that.
It also feels weird for me to hear you say way back in the day when it comes to XCOM.
Well, I mean, the original one was an old PC game. Like, it's a 2D PC
okay.
game.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but what it does as a franchise, yeah. And well, I mean, XCOM's what? It's better 12 years ago, probably.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's pretty old. So, we're going to drop. So, that means we have Twisted Metal 2, Bully, Pillars of Eternity.
Which I think we both have Twisted Metal 2 on our list.
We both have Twisted Metal 2 on our list. So you have Twisted Metal 2. You have two Twisted Metals as 55. And Twisted Metal 2 for mine is coming in at 93.
We could probably compromise and put that one somewhere in the 80s.
So I think Twisted Metal 2 is on both of our lists for nostalgic purposes.
Would you not? Would you not? Would you not? But would you not play it now?
I mean, I would play it now for the funsies, but I think Twisted Metal 2 has a lot of neat roots, and I'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll think about putting an asterisk on it maybe. So it is a car combat game from the PS1 era, and I think it's neat because it's almost battle royale esque, where you had like a bunch of different cars that all had special abilities. In a lot of ways, it was kind of Overwatch kind of esque because you had, like I said, you had special abilities and different weapons that you drive around, and it was like an arena game, so it kind of had a lot of arena first person shooter qualities to it. And the setting of that game being is kind of unique, where there's this guy doing a tournament and he grants your wish at the end of it, and it's kind of messed up what happens to you at the end because you don't actually get what you want, and I feel like it's really, really neat. I think 93 is a good spot for Twisted Metal 2. I don't think it goes higher than 90 in my opinion.
I mean, since it's this low on the list, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with it? What do you think, Andrew?
I feel no strong emotions. I remember really liking Twisted Metal, but it was just something that I would play occasionally. So
I will bring this. You also have Twisted Metal Black on your list, Justin. If you was going to pick between those two games, is Black a better game or is Twisted Metal 2 a better game?
It's a real good question. Black.
Would you put Black at 93 or would you put Twisted Metal 2 at 93?
Where did I have Black at anyway?
Twisted Metal Black is sitting at
81.
81. So it's actually sitting lower on your list than Twisted Metal 2. Twisted Metal 2, man. It's the fucking feels, right? Because me and like the times that me and Justin got together with like some of our other friends in middle school to play this game, it is completely fueled by nostalgia. And I agree that Black is a better game. I think we take 2 off and put Black as 93.
Okay.
What do you think? You agree? Like,
I mean, yeah, I'm okay with that. Because something's not going to make it, so we might as well go ahead.
you see, I'm afraid. I'm really afraid when we get into the Final Fantasies. Like, I'm really afraid when we get into those. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, we definitely should be.
Okay, so we're gonna put Twisted Metal Black as 93. So that's going to be a hard game to stream because it's on the PS3.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of Rob Zombie music, so that is also going to be.
And PS3s are hard to send through a game capture card. Just
that might be something that you guys just have to play and then talk about it while you're doing something else.
We might have to do that.
Yeah.
Or is that a PS2 game? That might be a PS2 game. That is a
PS2
PS2 game. Which one is the PS3 one?
I have no idea.
I'll look that up.
I might be wrong, just in total. But yeah, Black is
Because I never had a PS3.
okay. That's right. It is a PS2 game. So we're going to come into number 92.
Oh, it was the PS3 one. It's just called Twisted Metal.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay. Black came in as a very dark game, and it ended the game with Paint It Black, which was great. It was a great credit song. Yeah. I agree. Twisted Metal Black should be 93. So it's the best Twisted Metal in the series. Yeah. Okay. '92 has already been selected off of my list. Actually, there's nothing for me to bring forward. So we got Bully, Pillars of Eternity, Mega Man Battle Network.
I do like some Bully. I do like some. What was the other one?
Mega Man Battle Network and Pillars of
And
Eternity.
Pillars. Yeah.
See, Pillars is good. So is Mega Man Battle Network.
So here, I'm going to propose something real quick. I want to throw Overcooked in on that slot as well.
Overcooked. Ugh. I don't think I would argue that. I don't think I would disagree with that.
Because I don't think Overcooked is going to make it at my 83 slot, but I think it can make it in the 90s. So I want to throw Overcooked up there.
Overcooked is so. I can acknowledge that game is really good. I just it messes with my anxiety and I can't do it.
I mean, what do you
think? Yeah, anything higher than 92, I would be like, I don't know.
You see that's kind of where I'm sitting here. Is I really really enjoy Overcooked. It is one of my favorite frantic kind of like, oh shit, we need to get things done. All of my friends are gonna hate me top games, and I really really enjoy Overcooked. Every time I've played Overcooked, I've came in with like a teamwork mindset and left with a y'all are fucking stupid mindset, and I really like that about that game. It's really fun to play Overcooked because when you succeed in Overcooked with 4 players, you feel like you've done something, and I really like that feeling.
I don't know that I've played Overcooked.
Yeah, we played it together like a few months ago.
Oh, that one. Okay.
But if neither of you think Overcooked stays on the list, I'm happy to take it off of mine. I'm happy to take it away. It's just we got to start burning some games eventually. I'm happy with taking that off because I don't think it goes any higher than 90, and and I'm okay with that.
If you want to keep it at 92, I'm cool with that. And if we want to toss it, I'm also cool with that. So,
Yeah,
Well-
I'm happy either way for that. I don't have a strong feeling for that game either way.
Well, if you don't have a strong feeling for it, and then it probably shouldn't be on here. You know what I mean? So
hang on. I think Casey just weighed in. What did you say, Casey? Casey said Overcooked should definitely be in. So, that's 2 for Overcooked there. I think it is so good that it messes with me. So, that would be my argument for keeping it at 92.
I think I'm going to keep it like you. I would like it at 92.
Have an idea.
And saying that, I think Bully's a great 91 game. And it's a game that I didn't think about on my list, but I think it does something so unique. It needs to be in that 90 slot somewhere.
I can go with that.
What do you think, Andrew?
Again, I never played Bully, but I do think that it's, from what I saw of it when it was coming out, it seemed a very unique game, and from all accounts, Rockstar knocked it out of the park. So,
Okay, 91 it is. Okay, coming in at 90. Okay. So I think this is going to be our last game, guys, okay? Because we're running at 1 hour 52 minutes. Our choices. Okay. Our choices are Pillars of Eternity, Mega Man Battle Network, God of War 3, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor, Fable, Halo Combat Evolved. So Halo 1. Do any of those fall?
I'm willing.
Do any of those drop?
I will drop. Go back to my list for a second.
Sure. I personally think God of War 3 drops.
I'm cool with Halo being the next one.
At 90 at the 90 slot.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think it's a stronger pick than than what I've got so far.
What do you think, Andrew?
And Halo's going to have a stronger appearance later on in the list too. So I'm cool with
Well,
Halo Combat Evolved being...
in the later parts of the list, I'll have stronger arguments and stronger feelings.
So Halo CE as number 90.
Yeah, I can live with that.
All right. All right. That's our top 90 through 100. So working from number 100 to 90. Before we end the stream here tonight, we got Dino Crisis 2 as 100, Fallout 2, Puzzle Quest, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty Black Ops, Mario 64, DDR Max 2, Twisted Metal Black, Overcooked, Bully, and Halo Combat Evolved.
Now, we also have
Borderlands 2 sitting at 75, and Resident Evil 8 sitting at 65. That's what we got so far, guys.
Now, before we go, is there anything that we want to knock off out of the leftovers that we have?
So our leftovers right now are Fable, Mega Man Battle Network, God of War. No, we knocked God of War 3, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with knocking God of War, and I'm cool with knocking Battle Network off.
Okay, so you want to keep Pillars of Eternity, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor. You want to keep those two.
Yeah, I'll keep those for now.
Okay. And I got Fable 1. Does anyone feel strongly about Fable besides me?
I really like that Coliseum scene.
I never played Fable, so
Okay, I'm cool with
Coliseum was pretty cool. Coliseum was pretty good though.
I'm cool with dropping Fable. I'm cool with dropping. Damn, I got 3 racing games in my top 20. I like racing games. I can't help it.
Okay, buddy, that's cool.
Vroom
All right.
vroom. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end that. Go ahead.
I would say no judgment, but we're doing this is all judgment based, so I'm totally gonna have to judge you.
Don't
So,
judge me.
ugh.
Don't judge me. None of my racing games have stuck so far. But I do got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe coming up at my 89 slot, and I think that is pretty much the perfect kart racer. So maybe things will change. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, West, for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back. We're gonna try to do this pretty much. I won't try to knock this out the next coming up weeks. So maybe we can have Edward online to complain about our choices next time. Thanks everybody,
He's gonna be mad
and
about that.
he's gonna be so mad about WoW. All right, see you next.